So what's going on, guys? This is Carl with the Racerred channel. We are riding right next to Mount Rushmore right now. In fact, on this road there are a lot of good views of it. You see it straight on, and then you see a side profile. It's pretty cool. Differing terrain per state is certainly something that you notice, especially when you travel a couple states over. Just the differences become way more than just environmental. You feel the difference when you're riding, for sure. Everything smells different, and the ride is completely different. One ride is definitely not the same as the next. I think that's where a lot of people go wrong, in fact. A lot of people start riding motorcycles and they start in the desert and they never really progress into any differing terrain, and it gets a little bit boring. But if you start going into some different stuff, then the world of riding a motorcycle can be so diverse that you'll never get bored. Never get bored of it. There are the great faces straight ahead, Mount Rushmore. This is an awesome view of the monument. Lincoln is the only one that has a lot of his suit there below his head. One cool thing I didn't realize about this monument is that it was lit up, or it is lit up, I should say. At nighttime you can come here and it's all lit up. I have seen it a bunch of times from the road, but I really want to go up and take a closer look. Crazy Horse is another kind of cool monument around here. It's not complete yet, but the head of it is. And I didn't realize to go see the Crazy Horse up close, it's like $125. Otherwise, you pay, I think, like $10 for a parking fee, and then you go in and they'll let you look at it from a distance, from like the visitor center type thing. And then you can pay another $5 for a bus ride to go see it a little bit closer. But really, just to look that Crazy Horse monument right in the face from point blank, that'll cost you. To me, it's just not worth the $125 per person. The Mount Rushmore monument has way more history to it anyway. I think they started construction in 1927 and ended construction in 1941. The main guy that had the idea, he was going to do it in the Needles. So the Needles Highway is another really scenic route here, but the rock there is just not conducive to building a monument without flaking away. So anyway, the monument was semi-completed in 1941. They ran out of money to continue construction on it because of World War II, and the main guy that was in charge of it, I can't remember his name right now, but he had passed away as well. So they ran out of money. He passed away. His son was part of it as well, but by that time they had gotten lower into the rock, and they got into a lot of material that just wasn't good for carving. So because that granite, they say that granite will only deteriorate about 1 inch every 10,000 years. So Mount Rushmore is going to be here a while. But down below, they didn't want to keep going and finish the monument because that stuff is a lot softer, and they just didn't think it was worth carving into. So there were three main reasons why they quit construction in 1941. It's because the war, they ran out of money, the guy died, and also they ran into some softer material that just wasn't very good for carving. It's amazing to see how much hard work went into that monument, though. They had so many man hours into that thing. They did the big chunks with dynamite, and that's how about 90% of the rock was moved, was with dynamite. They drilled holes, and then they would drill the holes in line with wherever they wanted it to break, so it would break along that line. And then when they wanted to do more precise work to it, they would use these jackhammer things. And at the monument, they actually have one of these big generator type compressor things that has a jackhammer attached to it. And they would move a lot of the material with that, but then they had hand tools as well. They would have these hand punches, or a hand chisel, I should say, which is basically a chisel inside of a metal tube, and it would just go back and forth, kind of like a jackhammer, a handheld jackhammer. But they did the measurements with a big long cable, and so they basically just figured out where the nose was going to be and went from there. Pretty fascinating stuff, really. But Needles Highway is still a very, very scenic route. Obviously Mount Rushmore isn't there, but Mount Rushmore isn't very far away, and for modern times when everybody has a car, there's nice roadways. I like it a lot better that Mount Rushmore is a little bit ways away from Needles, because really there's a lot to do here in South Dakota. Right now I'm staying in Keystone, South Dakota, at the Rushmore Express Hotel, which is amazing. I'm staying in the family suite provided by the Dakota 600 for me, which is really, really nice. I love the hotel room. Anyways, guys, this is that's your little Rushmore history lesson that I just learned yesterday. I spent a bunch of time there. Actually, it was either yesterday or the day before. I spent a bunch of time there and got to learn a bunch of the history. Of course, I'm horrible with names, but you guys get the gist of it anyway. I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace.
His name is Racerred. If he wasn't riding, he'd be in bed. He naps during the day. He rides his love in garage bays. Oh, he rides all night, full throttle all the time. Oh, he was born to ride. Red Racer, like, comment, and subscribe.